Have you ever imagined a city with levitating trains and white sand beaches lighting up in the dark? It sounds like a futuristic dream, but what if I told you it's already in the works? Saudi Arabia's new eco-city, Neom, plans to make it a reality. The ambitious project aims to create a desert metropolis that spans over 100 miles, produces no greenhouse gases, and has no cars on the roads. It's part of Saudi Arabia's larger plan to diversify its economy beyond its reliance on the oil industry. Neom is the brainchild of Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, who hopes to make it a global leader in smart city technologies and sustainable energy. But is it all too good to be true? Some people see it as a desperate attempt to gain media attention, while others see it as a brilliant and innovative plan. Regardless of how you feel about it, Neom is set to be built over the next 4 years for $500 billion. It's a massive undertaking, but if successful, it could generate $48 billion for the Saudi economy and create 380,000 jobs by 2030. So what exactly is Neom? It's a futuristic city that aims to coexist with the planet rather than harm it. The founders of Neom wanted to be a blueprint for the future, where humans and environment can thrive together. The city will be 17 times the size of London and 33 times the size of New York, and it will be built in the northeastern Tabuk area of Saudi Arabia. It will have no streets, no vehicles, and a zero net emission of greenhouse gases. Instead, it will rely on innovative modes of transportation, such as levitating trains, to move people and goods around. One of the most exciting aspects of Neom is its focus on sustainability. The city will be powered entirely by renewable energy, with a special emphasis on solar and wind power. It will also feature desalination plants that convert seawater into drinking water, as well as innovative methods of waste management and recycling. But what about the cost? Is it worth the $1 trillion price tag? That's a question that many people are asking, and the answer isn't clear yet. While the potential economic benefits are huge, the project is still in its early stages and there are many challenges to overcome. One thing is certain, Neom is an ambitious and innovative project that could change the way we think about cities and their impact on the environment. It's a project that's worth watching, whether you're a skeptic or a believer. But wait, what's so special about the line? Is it just another city with robots and AI like many others around the world? Nope. The line is not just any other city. It's a linear metropolis that stretches 100 miles long and 3 miles wide, with the capacity to house 1 million people. And get this, it will be built on a total land area of 4,000 square miles, stretching from Jordan to Egypt through the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Can you imagine living in a city that big? It's like having your own personal kingdom. Now let's talk about the infrastructure. The line will have a 3-layer design, with each layer serving a specific purpose. The topmost layer will be a pedestrian layer, complete with parks, open spaces and necessary services, all within a 5-minute walking distance from each other. Imagine strolling down a city that's not crowded with traffic. Heaven on earth, right? But wait, there's more. Beneath the pedestrian layer, there will be a service layer for the underlying physical infrastructure. And the coolest part, the spine, an ultra-high-speed transportation system, will operate underneath the service layer to link cities along the line. With this new transit infrastructure, passengers can reach any location in the city within 20 minutes or less. No more sitting in traffic for hours. But the Saudis aren't stopping there. The Neom project, of which the line is a part, has been dubbed a living laboratory to reduce Saudi Arabia's dependency on oil while also making the country a leader in innovation and tourism. The Wall Street Journal has reported plans for flying drone taxis, an amusement park with robotic dinosaurs, and the largest concentration of Michelin-starred restaurants in the nation. And for those of you who like to indulge in a bit of liquid courage, there's even talk of legalizing alcohol sales in the businesses. Now that's a surprise, but that's not all. Cloud seeding machines, glow-in-the-dark sand, and a gigantic artificial moon that would brighten the night sky are all part of the plan. Imagine walking down the street, looking up at the sky and seeing a giant moon shining down on you. Talk about a unique experience. Sure, you'd have an impressive view, but would you also have enough space to breathe? According to the Line project, you would, with each resident getting an average of 1,000 cubic meters of urban volume. But wait, that's not all. The project costs seem modest too, at just $55,000 per resident. Now, before you pack your bags and move in, let's consider some challenges that come with living in such a massive structure. For starters, you need a sophisticated vertical transportation system just to move around. And at 125 stories, it's not like you can take the stairs. Plus, the project's linear design may look intriguing from space, but what about its impact on local biodiversity? And how can such a massive building incorporate ultra-high-speed transit and cutting-edge infrastructure without breaking the bank? Despite its challenges, the Line project echoes the concept of a linear city developed by Spanish urban planner Arturo Soria y Mata in 1882. The idea was to ruralize the city and urbanize the countryside while also achieving great efficiencies in infrastructure. But is this concept still relevant today? Can it truly solve some problems of sustainability and congestion in cities, or is it just another attention-grabbing project? So what are the chances that the Line will be successful? Well, that's the million-dollar question. While the city will have all the typical amenities like schools, hospitals and gardens, all of these will undergo meticulous planning to meet the anticipated demand for high-quality educational, medical and recreational opportunities. And with the city's high standard of living and moderate climate, it's anticipated that it will become a leading tourist destination. However, there are concerns about the governance of the Line. But fear not, for the Saudi government has decided to make all of Neom a tax-free zone that functions independently from the rest of the Saudi system, including the government and the courts. So you can enjoy your time in the Line without worrying about taxes or government interference. Talk about a dream come true! And while the city boasts about its concentration on green technology and a symbiotic relationship with the environment, it's hard to see how the linear design actually enhances sustainability and results in quicker travel times. Firstly, let's talk about emissions. The materials and construction required for a project of this size could be pretty darn emissions intensive, so we might want to think about that before we get too carried away. And speaking of getting carried away, have we thought about the waiting times for lifts? I mean, sure, we'll be close to nature at ground level, but if we're waiting around for elevators all day, we might as well stay in our current cities. There was also the issue over its size, with some engineers saying that the structure itself would alter the dynamics of the groundwater flow in the desert and restrict the natural movement and migration patterns of birds and other land animals. Another thing to consider is the development of modules. Will they correspond to neighborhoods, or will we just have one big generic city? And will individuals and businesses have creative freedom in how their designs are expressed, or will everything look the same? Finally, there's the issue of independent expression of built form. This is a big part of conventional cities, but with such a rigid structure as the Line, will people really warm up to it? Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, it's going to be a wild ride. But hey, at least it'll look spectacular from space. But the real question is, what is the actual purpose of this design? Will it actually solve sustainability and congestion problems, or is it just meant to draw attention? Maybe it's secretly a giant art installation that we're all a part of, who knows? Despite the many unanswered questions, it seems like progress is being made on the project. They've even reached a deal with Hyzon Motors to build a factory that can produce 10,000 hydrogen fuel cell-powered commercial cars per year. And to top it off, the project management has been handed over to a South Korean organization, Hanmi Global. So what do you think about this crazy new city design? Is it the future of urban planning, or just a wild experiment that will go down in history as a quirky footnote?